In the vast stillness of New Mexico's desert, a highway breathes its own silent language. Route 66 stretches like a weathered memory, its cracked asphalt holding secrets deeper than the surrounding sand and scattered shadows. Here, between abandoned motels and rusted signposts, a journey unfolds, a delicate exploration of human geography where landscape and memory intertwine with profound intimacy. The road becomes a living manuscript, each mile revealing layers of unspoken narrative that transcend simple linear movement. Dust-covered landscapes carry whispers of migrations and forgotten dreams, where every weathered structure tells a story more complex than its architectural form suggests. Abandoned service stations and faded roadside cafes stand as silent witnesses to decades of human movement, their peeling paint and cracked windows holding fragments of conversations never fully spoken. These are not mere structures, but emotional archives, repositories of hope, disappointment, and the quiet resilience that defines American transit experiences. The traveler moves with a sense of reverent curiosity, understanding that this highway is more than a transportation corridor. It is a psychological terrain where personal histories intersect and diverge, where family narratives are etched into the very texture of the landscape. Each mile marker becomes a potential revelation, each turn in the road a metaphorical unfolding of inherited memory. The journey is less about destination and more about understanding the intricate web of connections that bind human experiences across generations. Shadows lengthen across the desert, casting intricate patterns that seem to encode hidden messages. Roadside landmarks become storytellers, their weathered surfaces holding narratives of migrations, lost dreams, and quiet transformations. A rusted truck abandoned in a distant field speaks of interrupted journeys. A boarded-up motel window reflects decades of transit lives. These are not static scenes, but dynamic emotional landscapes where time seems to fold and unfold with each passing moment. Family secrets drift like desert wind, subtle and persistent. Inherited memories emerge not as clear narratives, but as fragmented impressions. A photograph tucked into a glove compartment, a faded map with mysterious annotations, a worn leather wallet containing cryptic notes. The highway becomes a conduit for these unspoken stories, a metaphorical bloodline tracing emotional geographies more complex than any cartographic representation could capture. Loneliness here is not an absence, but a profound form of presence. It inhabits the spaces between departure and arrival, between remembering and forgetting. The traveler moves not as a detached observer, but as a sensitive receptor, allowing the road's accumulated stories to flow through their consciousness. Each mile reveals layers of human experience that defy simple categorization, moments of profound connection and inexplicable isolation existing simultaneously. As sunset transforms the desert into a canvas of amber and deep purple, the highway's true character emerges. This is not merely a path of concrete and asphalt, but a living memoir, each crack and weathered surface a testament to human resilience. Route 66 becomes more than infrastructure. It is memory itself, flowing endlessly through the New Mexican landscape, carrying stories of migration, loss, and unexpected redemption. The traveler understands that this journey is less about physical movement and more about spiritual cartography. Each abandoned building, each rusted signpost represents a chapter in an ongoing narrative of human movement and transformation. The road becomes a palimpsest, where layers of experience are written, partially erased, and rewritten, creating a complex tapestry of individual and collective memory that defies linear understanding. Twilight introduces a liminal space where boundaries between past and present blur. Shadows stretch across the highway, creating intricate geometries that seem to pulse with unspoken histories. The traveler moves through this landscape not as a conqueror, but as a humble interpreter, listening to the subtle rhythms of a terrain that holds more stories than any single human lifetime could comprehend. As darkness gradually envelopes the desert, the highway continues its silent dialogue. Route 66 remains a living entity, breathing with the accumulated experiences of countless travelers. It is a testament to the human capacity for movement, adaptation, and resilience, a road that continues to tell stories long after the last traveler has passed, a perpetual narrator of America's complex, nuanced journey through time and memory. Have you ever wondered what secrets lie dormant along forgotten highways, waiting to whisper their untold stories? In the fading light of New Mexico's desert landscape, Route 66 stretches like a weathered memory, its asphalt ribbons carrying echoes of journeys long abandoned. My name is Daniel Reyes, and this is a story about discovering the invisible threads that connect us to places we never knew we belonged. The summer of 2003 began unremarkably, a standard research assignment tracking historical preservation sites along the iconic highway. I was a documentarian, trained to observe, to capture narratives without becoming entangled. But some stories refuse to remain passive. Some memories demand to be awakened. My rental car hummed against the cracked pavement, dust billowing behind me like a ghostly trail. The landscape was a canvas of muted browns and faded yellows, punctuated by skeletal remnants of gas stations and roadside diners that once pulsed with human connection. Each mile marker felt like a heartbeat, slow and deliberate, revealing fragments of a narrative waiting to be understood. At mile marker 237, something unusual caught my eye. A weathered signpost, barely standing, with a faded photograph pinned beneath layers of sun-bleached tape. The image was of a young woman, perhaps in her late 20s, standing beside an old Chevrolet, her expression a mixture of determination and melancholy. Her eyes seemed to hold stories that transcended the moment captured on film. I pulled the car to the side, gravel crunching beneath tires worn smooth by countless journeys. The photograph beckoned, its edges curled and fragile. Handwritten text on the back read, "Margaret Sullivan, 1962, returning home." But what home? And from where? The mystery was like a quiet invitation, drawing me deeper into an unknown narrative. Research became obsession. Local archives, county records, conversations with elderly residents, each source added another layer to Margaret's story. She was a schoolteacher from a small town in Arizona who mysteriously disappeared during a cross-country trip in 1962. No missing person reports were filed, no substantial investigation conducted. It was as if she had simply dissolved into the landscape. Weeks turned into months. The highway became my companion, its silent stretches revealing subtle connections. An old mechanic in Albuquerque remembered her car, a blue 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air with a distinctive dent on the passenger side. A retired postmaster recalled her sending occasional postcards, each with cryptic messages that suggested both adventure and concealment. What emerged was not just a story of a woman's disappearance, but a complex tapestry of familial secrets, societal constraints, and a profound human desire for reinvention. Margaret wasn't running from something. She was running towards an understanding of herself that society of her time would not permit. Family records eventually revealed a stunning truth. Margaret was not merely a schoolteacher but the daughter of a prominent Arizona politician, a man whose public persona masked generations of generational trauma and unspoken family dynamics. Her journey was an act of personal liberation, a quiet rebellion against predetermined narratives. The highway itself became a metaphor, a liminal space between what was known and what remained hidden. Route 66, with its endless horizons and forgotten waypoints, was more than a transportation route. It was a canvas of human complexity, where individual stories intersected and diverged, leaving subtle impressions like tire tracks in desert sand. My documentary transformed from a clinical preservation project into a deeply personal exploration of memory, identity, and the unspoken journeys that shape human experience. Margaret's story was not unique but representative, a singular thread in the vast, intricate weaving of American narratives. As seasons changed and research deepened, I understood that some stories are not meant to be fully resolved. They exist in the spaces between known facts, in the quiet moments of reflection, in the landscapes that bear silent witness to human complexity. The photograph I discovered became more than evidence, it was a portal. Each time I looked at Margaret's face, I saw not just a woman from another era, but a universal human experience of seeking, of becoming, of transcending prescribed boundaries. Route 66 taught me that highways are more than physical pathways. They are living archives, holding memories both personal and collective. Every crack in the asphalt, every rusted signpost, every faded billboard tells a story, if only we pause long enough to listen. Today, Margaret's story has become part of a larger narrative about personal courage, about the quiet revolutions that happen far from public view. Her journey, once a mystery, now serves as a testament to the power of individual agency and the complex landscapes of human resilience. As documentarians, as storytellers, our role is not to definitively conclude, but to illuminate, to create spaces where untold stories can breathe, where forgotten journeys can find resonance. Margaret's path along Route 66 was not an ending, but a continuous unfolding, a reminder that our stories are never truly complete. In the end, this highway, this silent, watching highway, remains the true narrator. Its asphalt remembers, its horizons hold secrets, and its endless journey continues, inviting us to look beyond the visible, to hear the whispers between the miles. In the vast stillness of New Mexico's desert, a highway breathes its own silent language. Route 66 stretches like a weathered memory, its cracked asphalt holding secrets deeper than the surrounding sand and scattered shadows. Here, between abandoned motels and rusted signposts, a traveler's unexpected journey begins, not just across geography, but through the intricate terrain of forgotten human connections. The road itself seems to whisper, each mile marker a fragment of narrative waiting to be understood. Faded paint and windswept structures tell stories of migrations, dreams, and quiet desperation that once pulsed through these now empty corridors. This isn't merely a journey of miles, but a pilgrimage through emotional landscapes where every abandoned building holds a fragment of someone's unspoken history. Dust swirls across crumbling pavement, carrying memories like weightless ghosts. The mysterious traveler moves slowly, almost reverently, understanding that this highway is more than infrastructure. It's a living archive of human experience. Roadside landmarks become storytellers. A weathered cafe window reflects decades of unrecorded conversations. A rusted gas station hints at interrupted journeys, silent witnesses to countless personal transformations. Between the horizon's sharp edges and the road's subtle curves, family secrets emerge like mirages. Fragments of inherited memory drift through the narrative, whispers of migrations, of dreams abandoned and rekindled, of connections severed and mysteriously maintained. The highway becomes a metaphorical bloodline, tracing emotional geographies more complex than any mapped route. Loneliness here isn't absence, but a profound form of presence. Each mile reveals layers of human experience, the unspoken narratives that exist between departure and arrival, between remembering and forgetting. The traveler moves not as an observer, but as a conduit, allowing the road's accumulated stories to flow through their journey. As sunset paints the desert in amber and deep purple, the highway's true character emerges. Not just a path of concrete and asphalt, but a living memoir, each crack and weathered surface a testament to human resilience, to journeys undertaken and mysteries preserved. Route 66 becomes more than a road. It is memory itself, flowing endlessly through the New Mexican landscape.